Hi. Hello, hello. It is me again, reporting to you not live from Hollywood, California. And I just got back from my yoga class today. And let me just start off by saying I am ridiculously sore. Doing a Pilates session yesterday and then following it up with a yoga session really kicked my ass. I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing. It sucks because it sucks to be sore, but it's good because then in class, like there's a lot of body awareness. Like I can feel my abs, so I can activate them, so I can stretch them. It makes it a little bit easier and a little bit harder. Today the class was actually super, super basic. There were quite a few people in the class that had never done yoga before, so it was actually pretty simple. If I hadn't been so sore, I might have been a little pissy about it. Like, well, I know how to do all this. But I did choose to go to the beginning class, so I mean, I guess I should kind of expect things like that. I don't know. Most of the other classes have people that are a little more advanced in them, so it's not this simple. But I didn't mind today because I was so sore. And one cool thing about having all other basic people in your class is it makes me comparatively look like a badass. And so all these new people were like, I could see them glancing over at me to see how to do the pose. And so that was kind of neat because usually I'm like the major loser in the back of class looking at other people to see how to position my own body. So on the way home from yoga today, I started thinking about intentions. One thing that I've noticed in most of the yoga classes that I've taken, and I try to do this myself when I'm at home doing my own yoga practice, is to set an intention for that practice, for the day, for the week. Like wherever you put your intention is where things are going to happen. And usually when I'm setting an intention for yoga, it's usually like I try to like stay in the moment, or my intention is to not puke, or my intention is to create more space in my body. That was my intention today. And after reflecting on it as I was cruising home, I realized that that's really why I do yoga, is to create more space in my body and to experience my own capacity for change in an immediate way. A lot of times in classes, you'll do a few different sequences that have the same movement, so you get to see how you improve from the beginning of class to the end of class, which I find really exciting. I think it's so neat that we as human beings have this ability to improve and get better in such a short amount of time. So I kind of thought that was a neat thing to think about. Like, you know, why do you do the things you do? I do yoga because I want to experience my own capacity for change, and I want to create space within my body. Kind of basic, but that's that. I mean, I've spent the last 2 years trying to really cultivate significant change in my life. I quit smoking cigarettes, which is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I quit taking antidepressants, which was also really tough. And I quit taking Adderall and Xanax, which, I mean, all these things were prescribed. I wouldn't say that I had a substance abuse problem, but they were things that I was dependent on, and I didn't want to be that way anymore. So I slowly started chipping things away. You know, when first it was the antidepressant, and then it was the Adderall, and then it was the Xanax, and then it was the cigarettes. And observing myself making these huge sweeping changes, it's been really good for my self-esteem. It's really nice to know that even I have capacity for change. I mean, I never thought I would quit smoking. Ever, ever, ever. I love cigarettes. I love cigarette accessories. I love lighters. I love holding a cigarette. There's all these things that I loved so much about smoking. And it was really ingrained in me. It was a huge part of the way I looked at myself. I talk to smokers now, and a lot of them say the same thing. They're like, oh, I really want to quit, but it's a huge part of my self-identity. Like, and I get that. But I'm living proof, walking, breathing, obviously talking proof that you do have capacity for change. You really do. And it can be exciting and exhilarating. It's exhausting at times. I mean, there are still moments where I really want a cigarette. But I look back at how far I've come since deciding to quit smoking and deciding to institute all of these healthy changes in my life. And it's too much of a stretch to go back now. As much as I would love to have a cigarette, I know that it wouldn't be fair, and it wouldn't be honoring all the change that has happened within me. So we're all capable of changing. We're all capable of growing. And I think that yoga is a great way to see that in action in an immediate way. Like quitting smoking, it took me, 3 or 4 months to really reap any benefits from that. But I noticed changes in how I felt and how I moved from the first time I did yoga. So it's kind of neat. It's a neat, immediate way to see change. So I have to go to Disneyland this evening for Halloween. So I'm going to get off of here and go hop in the shower and get ready. But I hope everyone is awesome, and tell me about your capacity for change. Check out my blog, mkultra.com, EMKAY ultra.com. Or come holler at me on Twitter. I'm at SimplyMz, SimplyMZ, and tell me about your capacity for change and what you're trying to change and how you'd like to change. Or if you have any tips for me, I'd love to hear about it. So namaste, bitches, and I will see you later. Bye.